I want to thank Laurice Bell for her work as producer and editor of last night's terrific slideshow. She is also our parent speaker today. She grew up in Chicago and is a boarding school graduate of Stoneleigh Burnham School in Greenfield, Massachusetts. She later graduated from Northwestern, where she developed a passion for behind-the-scenes theater work. Moving to Los Angeles, Laurice became a music video editor to many A-list Hollywood musicians. She put these talents to good use at Midland here last night. Laurice now devotes her time to writing and has spent the past 7 years as a Midland mom. Son Oliver came to Midland first in 2012, and daughter Martha is sitting on the steps in front of me today, about to graduate. Laurice has lots of Midland experience, and we look forward to hearing the wisdom she'll share with us today. Laurice?
I have one correction. I did not graduate from college. So, let's start there. Something that isn't usually taught as part of a school curriculum is how to say a good goodbye. Even if you love new experiences and moving, goodbyes can be uncomfortable, emotional, messy. Saying a good goodbye is some of the hardest human work there is. But we do it. We do the hard human work. We take the time and attention to say goodbye because it creates space to honor our relationships. It gives us the opportunity to find words for emotions that we might be having for the very first time. A good goodbye honors our past, makes sense of the choices we made, and provides closure. Today we say goodbye in gratitude to the people of Midland and to honor our relationships with everyone here. Now, the paradoxical thing about today's goodbye is that our having been here, the act of our simply having been a part of the Midland community, has made us part of Midland's legacy forever. The students become part of this place, literally. Midland engraves the name of every student who has been here for an entire school year on a plaque in the chapel. So no matter what you believe, where you're from, or where you're about to go, part of you remains in this space, this special place, Midland. There are people who leave without saying goodbye, and people who say goodbye without leaving. Now these are really imperfect goodbyes. You will know a good goodbye because it does not leave many important things unsaid. And every goodbye is completely different. For example, one kind of goodbye that happens in the TV industry that marks the end of a good run, there's always a goodbye episode. Today is the 2018 Goodbye Midland episode. Obituaries are another kind of goodbye. Personally, I think even if you think it's a bit morbid, I've always loved a well-written obit because it shines a light on a life well-lived, something we all obviously strive and hope for. Here's a good one from the San Luis Obispo County Tribune, printed December 9th, 2017. I might have even heard it up here. Eugene Rinsler, 99, passed away December 1st, 2017. He was a World War II vet and a proud member of Atheists United SLO. Gene was married for 60 years to the love of his life. Please do not offer prayers, as he would have just wanted everyone to do the right thing, help others, live a good life free of dogma and full of critical thinking and exploration. The importance of learning to say goodbye with grace is something that will drive you to move on with self-confidence while still embracing everything that has come before. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I have learned that. One of my favorite events on campus each year at Midland is the Parent Alumni Weekend. Just a few weeks ago, I witnessed another beautiful way to say goodbye. I noticed a woman sitting on her own outside of Stillman. A bit later, she's walking across Middle Yard. I'm curious, so I introduced myself. Her name is Pandy Everett, and she told me that her brother Brian, who was in the class of 72, had passed away recently. Pandy decided to meet up with 2 of his classmates during the weekend so she could be closer to her brother and what he loved. Of all the places in the world that her brother had been, of all the successes he had been a part of, Pandy Everett came here. She came here to both mourn and celebrate her brother. It was a very powerful statement to me, both in its testament to graceful goodbyes and to the impact that Midland School has on its students. Today we have grandparents, parents, siblings, and dear friends who are here also, and also alumni. We have families who keep coming back. L'adore vador, as it's said, from generation to generation. What is remembered lives. Some of you graduates, like Martha, have loved ones who couldn't be here today. I want all of you to know that I believe they would be thrilled by the people you've become and are still becoming. Martha, your Grandma Adrian and Grandpa Lawrence would be over the moon and so proud of you. So proud of the stellar individual you are. For those of us who feel something is missing today, I understand. All of us in body and spirit who are here today together to honor the 2018 graduates are now seamlessly hemmed into the fabric of the Midland community. And because community is clearly important to all of us, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Not only on a great way to actively build community, but also a great way to drive the kids a little bit crazy. I always say to them when we're out, go talk to people, find out more about them, Identify something in common, drop an icebreaker, for instance, that we're all in the same room and are clothed or not. Because you might find yourself talking to a Pandy Everett, someone in the midst of a truly meaningful experience, or someone who could become a best friend. You never know. That's why I encourage them to say hello, introduce themselves, talk to people. I encourage them to make the world smaller and more personable. This is a motto of mine. I know we're a small community, and it seems like we all know each other, but I'm going to ask you to humor me. So if you take a second right now and look at your neighbor and introduce yourself to the people near you and tell them which kid you're here to see and cheer on, that would be great. Turn around and give a hand and give a hug and shake a hand. Okay, more later. It was just an icebreaker. This was a tough year. The fires, the loss, the killings, murders, crimes on the streets and in the schools. But this is also an extraordinary time of learning and knowing that by using your voices that you can make a difference and be heard. The times are a-changin' again. I know that ice breaking into homes, taking children away from parents is not okay. That Black Lives Matter is not about excluding people, giving an unfair advantage to others. It's about humanity. That what we say is important and how we say it is important. That to speak up when we know something to be wrong is not only a right, it's a necessity. That the status quo is status no. Kids are open and interesting with ideas we can't even imagine that makes this world a better place. If we listen to them, we can learn things. But truly, these kids and their sense of what's important, their desire to stand out and what they believe they know is right. I've been lucky enough to drive a lot of the kids to and from school or out on a holiday. I say lucky because a person sure can learn a lot from sitting in the driver's seat and checking the rearview mirror from time to time. Seeing where you've been, listening to what's happening in the back seat. I have witnessed that our kids have an extraordinary openness. They will share who they are if you listen. Pulling away from Midland and looking ahead to one holiday or another, I would just keep my eye on them in the rearview mirror and listen, because I might like to talk. Some of you know this. But they started talking to me too. And I'll tell you, I learned far more from them than I imparted on them. But we still listen mostly to my music, so I take a win on that. I try to remind them that we are all part of the human community, and even if they roll their eyes, and they do, the lesson is that we are all part of one another's lives. The question is not, are we all connected, or is the world getting smaller? The question is how we decide to participate in the lives of others. And because this is so, I want to offer this specifically to the graduates. Be kind whenever you have the option to be kind, and know that being kind is probably not going to be easy. Of course, I have a long laundry list, as one does, for how I wish the world would be, and along with that, some wishes for you. I wish for safe places full of friends who love you, knowing that love can rightfully call you out on your shortcomings. I wish you deep, abiding love, the right outfit for every occasion, the chance to travel and see new places that blast your synapses with new experiences. As your world grows with college, a place where you specialize your knowledge, and as you create a family of your own in whatever shape it takes, where you tend to agree on values, I wish that you also find yourselves with people who look at things differently. I wish that you hear their points of view, listening without any intent to change someone's mind, knowing that you might never agree. I wish for you clean water, clean air, and great health. I wish you the ability to make mistakes, admit them, and not only recover but grow from them. I wish you good counsel. You can always seek counsel from others, but sometimes you will need to go deep and keep your own counsel. I wish that you always have the courage to speak up when you see wrong being done, no matter how small your voice may feel. It is not. I wish you to be curious, well beyond the years of formal education which asks it of you. I wish that you always have a sense of humor and the ability to figure things out, all the while knowing for certain that you don't know everything. Most of all, I wish you the gift of saying a good goodbye to Midland. So embrace your accomplishments and then let your gazes settle on the cabin where you lived. Remember how the light filtered in the early mornings. Remember the stars. Remember how you failed. Give the place a glance. Let the memories settle. And then Ashley, Chris, David, Nayeli, Shannon, Aaron, Cynthia, Adrian, Freya, Thomas, Noah, Claire, Eliza, Charles, Martha, Dorsey, Braden, Maggie, Annabelle, Wolfie, Patrick, Jaira, Julia, Jenny, and Eleanor. As you pull away, remember to keep your rearview mirror adjusted so you can always see where you've been. Thank you.